Nuzlocking Pokemon X with the Legend ZA starters. This means I can only use these 3 Pokemon for the whole Nuzlocke challenge. Introducing y'all to the team, first up we have Toady the Totodile with a laxed nature. Rita the Chikorita has an impish nature, and this is okay because I don't need the increased special attack. We were going to use Razor Leafs anyway because I have a chance of critting and I love gambling. Finally we have Cyndaquil, the Cyndaquil, and he's got a hardy nature. We're just going to keep things neutral with him. We begin our journey by entering Satelloon Forest. We defeat some trainers and then we use the power of friendship to exit the forest. We defeat some more trainers. Why is there an unattended preschooler? Making it to Satelloon City. Before we can take on the gym, I decide to stop by the boutique and make my person look as disgusting as possible with this fashion. All of my starter Pokemon are useful against the bug type gym trainers, and now it's time to challenge Viola, the bug type gym leader. She starts off with a Surskit and I lead with Toady. Totodile and Surskit just hit each other with bubbles and rages until eventually Toady proves to be the angrier little guy. Her ace Vivleon is out and Cyndaquil just burnt the butterfly to a crisp. That won us our first gym badge. We now have to meet up with the professor in Lumio City. So on our way there, we fight some trainers through the garden. We arrive into Lumio City, and looking around, I have to admit, it made me more excited to play Legend ZA, as I want to see a Lumio City that looks a lot better than this. So we make it to the professor, and he challenges us to a battle. He uses only Kanto starters, and we had to humble him by showing him a lesson in type advantages. He then rewards us by letting us pick from another group of starter Pokemon, and yeah, I mean, I'll take a Zapdos. That could be useful. It could be useful to fly around the region on that. And then ominous evil guy Ginger dude, yeah, he's there too. Oh, and he's talking to the most fraudulent champion in Pokemon history. At least Gita had a redemption arc in the DLC of Pokemon Scarlet and Violet. Leaving Lumio City, we now need to head west to the coast of Kalos to challenge the second gym leader. While traveling, Rita evolves from Chikorita into Bayleaf. Cyndaquil evolves into a Pignite somehow, but I just go with it as he learns fighting type move Arm Thrust, and that will be dealing super effective damage to the upcoming rock type gym leader. I suddenly came across this Discord mod blocking the bridge, so naturally I traveled north in search of a magical flute. The Poke Flute needs to be used to wake up Snorlax, and the only way to receive it is by paying $1,000 to enter a mansion. I proceed to be a mere peasant and track down and capture the dog of the mansion owner. Then I cringe through a random underage romance tease. All of that for a Poke Flute, and I still find it crazy that I had to pay $1,000 to capture a rich person's dog. Anyway, we return to the sleeping Snorlax to wake him up, just for us to KO him with the old 1-2 belly slap, which caused Totodile to evolve into Croconaw, naturally. About 20 minutes of fighting trainers and we make it to Kalos' coast. However, before we can finally fight the gym, there's another side quest that is mandatory. I had to take a Rhyhorn to the cave, and I'm introduced to Team Flare, who are all just loitering in the cave. Toady conceals their fate by eating them all. Time for the rock-type gym leader, Cliff, and Cyndaquil just kind of arm thrusted his rock types to death. That's a shame, but we got our second gym badge. While training in Reflection Cave, Toady learns the important move of Crunch and evolves into the final stage of Feraligatr. Shortly after, my rival challenges me to a battle, and I leave her team as Red Mist, which plants the seed for Rita to grow into a Meganium. She wanted to learn Petal Dance, but I rejected it because her physical attack is stronger, and moves that lock you into attacking are usually bad for Nuzlocks. Karina is the fighting type gym leader. I lead with Toady and he starts raising his attack stat with Hone Claws. Mimfu is trying to take down Toady quick with power up punches, but the Citrus Berry kicks in, making Mimfu's attacks useless. Shadow Claw is taught to Toady because it's the strongest physical move he has against fighting types at this point, as Crunch is a dark type move and fighting types resist it. Karina notices the potential bloodshed of Toady and sends out her ace Hawlucha, immediately trying to start raising its attack stat. A Shadow Claw does more than half of Hawlucha's health. The ace tries to answer back with a powerful flying press, but it is not enough, and Toady secures its soul with a Shadow Claw. Her last Pokemon is Machoke, and I swapped to Rita to just try and whittle it down. I make sure not to use poison powder because I don't want to activate this thing's guts ability, which will increase its attack stat. So I use a combination of reflex and razor leafs. It's not nearly enough damage, so I eventually swap to Cyndaquil just to secure the wind, and that's my third gym badge. That's not all. I'm forced to battle Karina again, with her giving me one of her Lucarios because I guess it sensed my alpha male aura. We prove our bond together by being forced to use Mega Evolution and defeat Karina's Mega Lucario. Okay, so this game's been out for about 12 years now, 13 years, and I did not know you can just leave this Lucario on the roof. You can just refuse to bring it with you. Sorry, Lucario. In this universe, you are neglected. Wait, I might have just started Lucario's villain arc. Before heading out of town, my rival stops me to give me the HM Surf. This is huge because now I can replace Toadie's water gun with this immediately. Surf is another special move that cannot take advantage of Toadie's high physical attack, but we need a stronger water stab move. Soon I run into my rival again in front of the 4th gym, and I sweep her with only Rita. The 4th gym leader is the grass type user. I honestly forgot his name, and I don't feel like looking it up. I lead with Toadie to tank a grass knot and counter with a quad effective Ice Fang on Jump Pluff for the one-hit KO. I switch to Cyndaquil when he brings out Weeping Bell, and it gets one-shotted by a Flame Charge. Go-Goat is his ace, and I use a Flame Charge to raise my speed. It does less than half damage, and he lowers my speed back down with a super effective Bulldoze. I'm afraid of losing Cyndaquil, so I swap to Rita and resist the Bulldoze attack. Rita can't deal a lot of damage, but Go-Goat lowers its own health from recoil damage of takedown and hitting my Rocky Helmet. Can't stay in for long, so I bring Toadie back out to finish off the ace with an Ice Fang. I received the 4th gym badge, and I'm surprised that it was actually more challenging than the rock type gym leader. Going to the Kalos power plant, I have to be tortured on the worst route of this game. Watching these little pile of rubbles move weird they just make me mad, and they just force me to battle these Pokemon, and I can't even run away from them because all of them are mostly Trap Pinches and Dugtrios that have Arena Trap. Also, randomly, there is a wind that blows from west, and it makes it move a lot slower. It doesn't help that you have to move against the wind to proceed going to the power plant. Speaking of the power plant, we defeat Team Flare, who took control of it, and Cyndaquil evolves into an Emboar because Typhlosion, I guess, is still cancelled. Returning to Lumio City, we now take on Clemont, the electric and 5th Kalos gym leader. Cyndaquil is weak to Emolga's flying type attacks, but I know he can take a hit and get the knockout. It's really important for me to save as much HP on Rita in this fight and try not to involve Toadie as best I can. I used Rock Tomb from Cyndaquil because I needed a speed drop to take less damage from Emolga. Magneton follows, and I can't one-shot him because of his sturdy ability. He stalls by using all of his hyper potions just to fall anyway. Thanks to the speed boost I got from just farming flame charges on Magneton, Cyndaquil is able to just run laps around his ace Heliolisk. He slaps him with super effective arm thrust, which that won me the 5th gym badge. That gym was way too easy, and speaking of way too easy, my rival decides to waste my time again, and it is not worth breaking down. I'll save y'all some time. Teething through the swamp led me to Valerie whatever. It's pretty wild that shrooms just locally are produced here, just out in the open. The shrooms are useful, as I use them to teleport to the fairy type gym leader, Valerie. Cyndaquil heats up by farming speed boost off her useless Mawile. Mr. Mime is out, and I'm aware that he has a threatening psychic move. I don't care, as I believe Heat Crash can one-hit KO, but it does not, and Cyndaquil pays the price. Not dead yet, I use some more flame charges on the Frenchman until Valerie is down to her ace, Sylveon. Cyndaquil is 2 damaged, so we swap to Rita. Charm is used to lower Rita's attack, but I still have possible crits from Razor Leaf because I love gambling. Rita has enough defense to stand up against Sylveon's dazzling gleams with or without the help of light screens. Rita poisons the pink Eevee and watches as it slowly loses its grip on the physical world around her. This is a Kalos gym of all time. Oh, and yeah, we got our 6th gym badge. In between gym challenges, we are forced to go to the Pokeball factory because Team Flare wants our attention again. Then a grown man jumps out at me from a pile of leaves. Keep in mind, my character is a minor. Some stereotypical Pokemon ice floor puzzles, which I admit, I like my ice floor puzzles. Toadie has a little encounter with a Mr. Nose, and well, they discuss world domination. My rival wants attention now and thinks a single Vaporeon addition to her team is enough to turn the tides. I am not sure how to break this to her. It is not the Pokemon. It is you. They're better off being wild encounters. My rival was easy, but this next gym leader, Olympia, and her psychic types, I'm scared. Cyndaquil is part fighting type, so I have to be careful playing around psychics. Toadie and Rita, they're not at a type disadvantage, but they just do not have high enough special defense, and it's just gonna make their psychic attacks hit harder. After a ton of thought behind item swaps and movesets, I found the right strategy. Toadie starts the fight against Olympia's Sigilyph because he is the only member who can stand up somewhat to the flying type attacks. Toadie's Quick Claw allows him to crunch the goofy ass bird, and also gets a defense drop before Sigilyph puts up a Reflect to lower the damage of Crunch for 5 turns. I know she's gonna go for a heal, so I take this opportunity to crunch again, and after we protect to waste more turns until Reflect is gone. Sigilyph does get a Jedi Mind Trick through, dealing a decent amount of damage, but Toadie gobbles up the bird for good. Slowking is late to the party, but so is your girl Rita. Rita just completely shakes off a psychic attack and deploys a light screen to make them even more useless. Slowking attempts to put my girl to sleep. Wait, what? To counteract his creepy ass, Rita poisons him to get the last laugh before falling asleep. He uses a psychic and gets a defense drop, but Rita's guard is not down as she wakes up instantly and cuts him with foliage. He tries to keep a calm mind and heal the damage, but Rita cuts him with foliage again. He attempts to put her to sleep one more time. I block this by switching to Toadie. Slowking does not care because he spams Yawn until poison takes his life. Good. Her last Pokemon is her Meowstic with a very high special attack stat. I do a crazy play by swapping to Cyndaquil, but this is smart because the AI prioritizes Fake Out over everything else, which causes this to be a safe switch. The battle gets scary when Meowstic raises her special attack instead of just going for a Psychic. Cyndaquil successfully rizzes her up though, and then is able to belly flop on her. Frail Frame can't take it, and she's pronounced dead. GG, woman. Anyway, we got our 7th gym badge from the first and only formidable gym in Kalos. This run was risked around whether a tract would work or not. That is stupid. I found out now I have to save the world, and in order to do that I have to fight the evil boss guy 3 times within the span of 15 minutes. The first battle goes pretty smooth. I don't have to worry about much since he has 2 base stage Pokemon, being Ningfu and Murkrow. Most of his Pokemon have physical moves, and all 3 of my starters have good bulk for those moves. The biggest misplay on his part is he just does not have Ice Fang on a Gyarados, so that just invites my Rita to poison him and wait for the death. Then evil climactic Death Cannon emerges from the ground. The only counterplay to this is to travel back to the swamp and talk to the goth girl. That will help me teach Rita how to poison victims more effectively with the TM Toxic. The second battle with Lasagna is a bit more challenging. His Ningfu is now evolved into a Manchow. Toadie uses Protect, so Minchow damages himself going for a high jump kick. Manchow fights back with similar damage from a high jump kick, but Toadie crashes water on the op's forehead to secure the KO. Gyarados intimidates Toadie, which causes a lower in attack. That's kind of bullshit because Toadie, he's slain more gods than sea snakes at a 50-to-1 ratio, just to be exact. There's no way he's scared of him. Anyway, Rita is released and she absorbs an outrage attack. She uses her newly found Toxic, but is forced to hold on after absorbing another outrage attack. Rita restores with the Synthesis, while Gyarados hurts itself in confusion and by poison. Rita racks up some more chip damage using Razor Leaf to put Gyarados in range of dying from poison. Pyroar forces me to replace Rita with Cyndaquil. Cyndaquil surprisingly dodges a Fire Blast, following up with tanking a Hyper Voice and using Power Up Punch to raise his own attack to do half the damage to Pyroar. Pyroar puts Cyndaquil into low health, but Power Up Punch it seals Mufasa's fate. The evil boss guy's Murkrow, it evolved into a Honchkrow. Cyndaquil, he's too weak to fight now, and Rita is weak against flying attacks, so that leaves a job for Toadie. Toadie's a big boy, so he can take an Aerial Ace to the face. Just showing off the Rolex to the Honchkrow caused him to freeze, and we throw that Butterball turkey back in the freezer. I don't know, like Bambi got resurrected and I get sent to the astral plane. I'm forced to catch it, so I do, and I just named it No, because I can't use it. Lasagna rolls up with his Pokemon Go accessories, and we have to defeat him one last time. I'm forced to use No in this battle as my lead, so in order to save the integrity of the challenge, I have to swap Toady into getting hit by an acrobatics. Toady then takes out Nympho exactly the same way with the Protect strats. Protect is used again to help Toady restore a little bit more HP with leftovers. Toady's tsunamis are just back to drowning the lion to death. I release Cyndaquil because I know Honchkrow is going to try and use a Night Slash attack on Toady. I see the only play is to be using Heat Crash, and yeah, it was the play. Lasagna's ace Pokemon is his Gyarados, but this time it can Mega Evolve. This actually works in my favor because Rita's Razor Leafs now do super effective damage because Mega Gyarados changed its typing from Water Flying to Water Dark, and he still does not have an Ice type move. Rita does what she does best and just walls the Gyarados, while Gyarados only uses physical moves. Physical attacks are causing Gyarados to hurt himself because of the Rocky Helmet item I gave Rita, which was the cause of his demise. So yeah, I just saved the world and oh shit. Okay, no, the cannon just decided to go off anyway. The rise in heat must be affecting my brain because I wasted too much time in Terminus Cave trying to find the Earthquake TM, only to realize it was really the Shadow Ball TM instead, which I can't even teach any of my starters. A simple Bulbapedia search would have countered my stupidity. But I am not as stupid as the disgusting Gen 1er Professor Sycamore. I had to reteach him the lesson in type advantages. Instead of giving me an item this time around, he just skedaddles, which is fair. I mean, last time he did give me a private jet in the form of a Thunderbird after one gym badge. Now here comes the gauntlet of rivals. Forced to fight 3 back to back, but they have limited movesets, and I get fully restored before the last fight. Delcatty is Shauna's first Pokemon with only physical moves and Charm used to lower special attack stats. I need to conserve HP so Rita completely negates any physical pressure from the house cat. Into KO range, I swap the Toady so he can farm a power-up punch boost. Goodra has low physical defense, so Toady is able to destroy with one Ice Fang. Delphox doesn't have great physical defense either, but Toady got a critical hit anyway, even though I don't think the crit would have mattered. Tierno is next with a Talonflame, but Toady washes the bird away. His Roserade only has one move, being Petal Dance, so Cyndaquil curb stomps that fraud. Now Mr. Claw is an agent. He increases his already monster attack stat with the help of Swords Dance. Rita holds on after lucking out and not dying to a powerful Night Slash. We probably would have lost Rita if that was a critical hit. Mr. Claw is disposed of quickly after using the power of foliage. Trevor is nice enough to heal my team before facing me, which was a mistake on his part. Rita is healthy and does an excellent job poisoning his electric rat to death. Aerodactyl has a flying type move, so Toady is swapped in. Weirdly enough, he went for Supersonic and pelted Toady with rocks. Toady is not confused by his place in the world and calls upon the power of the ocean to wash away the fossil. The last Pokemon is Florges, and it only has grass type moves. Rita returns, but Misty Terrain is set up, and I think this is because the AI prioritizes setup moves. With the Terrain up, Rita can't poison the target, so we just cut the flower creature with leaves, winning us all 3 battles. And hell yeah, Toady finally gets a great physical water type move. It only took until level 58, and it's not even part of his moveset. Pokemon Legends ZA, you guys better make things right. Please fix my Gator Boys moveset. I'm not even gonna waste y'all's time with explaining the massacre of Kalos's last gym leader being Wolfric, the Ice type user. Speaking purely on teams, Grant and Olympia are the only Kalos gym fights I actually like. If you made it this far, let me know what you think in the comments below. Leaving the gym in style, I start preparing for final challenges by actually finding the Earthquake TM this time. I had to do this boulder puzzle, and is it weird that I kind of miss these in modern Pokemon games. I feel like there's nothing like that anymore. After walking through the cool hallway, the Victory Road is the only obstacle on my way before tackling the Pokemon League. I will say, after not playing the Kalos games in a long time, I found that I really enjoy the X and Y Victory Road. It does not take long to clear, and in between the cave segment and the outside by the water, it's just a really nice change in atmosphere. There's also a Pokemon Ranger that it heals your whole party before fighting your rival one last time. Fighting your rival is just giving her too much credit. Rita effortlessly just took down her Meowstic and Vaporeon. Toadie used a 4 times effective Ice Fang on her newly acquired Altaria. I feel so bad for that Altaria, but you allowed yourself to get caught by her. That's on you. And then Cyndaquil just burned the remains of her team, being Chestnut and Absol. A little more of Victory Road, and we find the Dragon Claw TM, which Toadie will be able to put to great use later, and we finally made it to the Pokemon League. I had to return to Lumiose just one more time, because I forgot that I could obtain Swords Dance TM after the first gym. I teach that to Toadie to increase his lethality. Rita keeps her moveset, as she's done an amazing job being a staller throughout this playthrough. And I put Earthquake to good use by teaching it to Cyndaquil. Now that my team is looking powerful, it's time for the Pokemon League Challenge. Starting with the Fire-type Elite Four member, Malva. She sends out a Pyroar. Now this Pyroar is different from others that Toadie has faced, as it has Wild Charge for electric damage to cover Water-type weaknesses. The AI for some reason goes for a weak neutral damaging Hyper Voice, while Toadie sets up a Swords Dance. Pyroar then lowers my stats increase from +2 to +1, but Waterfall boosted with Mystic Water held item is still enough power. Her Ace Talonflame is shown pretty early, but today is the wrong day to be brave. Toadie douses the bird to death. Talonflame's flame body activates, and Toadie is now burnt. This sucks because Toadie can't sweep alone anymore. With the burnt status condition, it's cutting his physical attack power in half. Torkoal is sent out, and I believe it's Rita's time to shine. Torkoal is a fire type, but Flame Wheel is his strongest fire move, and I want to save as much HP on Cyndaquil as I can. Stone Edge doesn't do enough damage to Rita. Rita misses a Toxic next turn, and Torkoal does decent damage using a fire cartwheel. Rita's Reflect is now up. Torkoal's attack is much weaker now, and Rita is able to have Toxic connect this time. Things look pretty dangerous for Rita while Torkoal is cursing, so Cyndaquil comes in to teach her some manners by manipulating the earth beneath her. It doesn't do enough damage on its own, but Rita's poison brings the turtle's health and range to die from one more Earthquake. Chandelure is Malva's last Pokemon and desperately tries to confuse Cyndaquil. However, Cyndaquil does not listen to the voice inside and one-hit KOs the Chandelure with a funny moment Plate Tectonic. I choose the challenge Steel-type Elite Four member Wilkshrum next. His Klefki scatters spikes on the ground, which does not matter because I planned on using Cyndaquil sweeping through this whole fight. Earthquake kills the dumb little baby keys, and now we're staring down Mr. Nose. Mr. Nose survives a one-hit KO from Power-Up Punch with its ability Sturdy, and it fires back with an Earth Power. Cyndaquil eats it up. I know he's gonna heal, so we just farm Flame Charges for the speed increase and finish him off with another Power-Up Punch. His Ace Aegislash is staring down my +3 attacked drugged Cyndaquil with a speed boost, so naturally it falls to Plate Tectonics. Thanks to the Quick Claw, Cyndaquil is faster than the Sizer, and we claim victory over Wilkshrum. 2 Elite Four members defeated, and we got 2 more to go. Drasna's Dragon types are led by her Drowgy. It does have Surf in its moveset, but I know Cyndaquil's Earthquake is faster and strong enough to wipe it out early. Her Noivern is out, and it does half my HP with a Super Fang, but we get lucky and get a crit Rock Tomb hit. It doesn't kill, which is okay, because we still cripple the extremely fast Noivern. Toadie can withstand an Air Slash and uses Ice Fang first, next turn for the KO. Altaria is here now and is actually able to survive an Ice Fang and does good damage with Dragon Pulse. I know she'll heal Altaria, so to ensure the death next turn, I use the Swords Dance. The Ice Fang knocks her out, and her final Pokemon is Druddigon. Druddigon dodges the icy jaws of Toadie and forces a switch to Cyndaquil by using Dragon Tail. I try to bring Rita in, but Druddigon uses Dragon Tail again to have Cyndaquil out now. We are back to square one, except he took a little bit of chip damage from Rita's Rocky Helmet. Rock Tomb connects and Cyndaquil actually dodges the Dragon Tail. This allows a Hammer Arm next turn to get the victory. Seabold is the final Elite Four member that specializes in water types. His Mega Launcher Closser has a monstrous special attack stat, and Rita is the only one who can withstand his hits. She does just that and is able to shut down the Clotzer with 2 Razor Leafs. Seabold's Ace Barbonicle is 4 times weak to Razor Leaf, but it has really high defenses and it's got a strong bug type X-Scissor. I can't afford to lose Rita, so Cyndaquil is up. I thought of this really forbidden technique by teaching Cyndaquil Grass Knot to obliterate the Barnacle. He's 4 times weak to Grass. Grass Knot does more damage to heavier targets, and Cyndaquil has a surprisingly okay special attack stat. Gyarados lowers my attack with Intimidate, but I already planned on swapping to Toadie for this. The snake did a couple of scary dances, but Rock Tomb dealt super effective damage on a low roll and a high roll for the KO. His Starmie is left, and with low defenses, 1 dark type crunch is enough to kill the Psychic Patrick. With all of the Elite Four defeated, the champion is the last challenge left. I prepped for about 12 minutes when I only really needed 30 seconds. For those of you that are aware of the difficulty Kalos champion Diantha poses, you know what's coming next. I present to you Toadie's Last Massacre. And yeah, that's how I completed a Pokemon X Hardcore Nuzlocke only using the starters for Pokemon Legends ZA. And really, all the starters had a great role to play. They did a great job, but I'm gonna have to give the MVP to Rita the Meganium. I'll admit, when I was younger, I never really cared for Chikorita, but it wasn't until I started getting into Nuzlocking years ago that I started to appreciate the bulky grass type. It just gets so many outstanding support moves. Quite a shocker that once you take a pure grass type out of Johto, it's not bad.